Welcome once again and very good morning. My name is Pradeep Chopra and I am one of the co-founders of 42 Inception. We will begin the webinar now. I think there would be still more people who would join us, but we should begin. Just to give you some basic information, all of you are on mute. If you want to communicate, whether you have a question or if you have an input, you can use the questions panel window of your control panel to be able to communicate with us. So that's one part of input. Second is I want to let you know that post this webinar, we would be sending you a mail with the link to the recorded version of this session. So you don't need to worry about the exact content of this presentation, but at the same time, feel free to not take down any key takeaways you have from this session, right? Uh, Let me begin by doing a quick introduction about myself and about 42 Inception. See, I started my first business way back in year 2000. Interestingly, that was a time when .com bust started happening across the globe, and we happened to use digital marketing for our first business, and that purely happened as a chance. So we launched our first venture in 2000. We wanted to sell a product. We miserably failed trying to sell it offline, but for some experiment, we were able to successfully sell it to someone outside India sitting here, and that had happened through SEO. Then we looked into all aspects of digital marketing. So we saw there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So for last 12 years, we have been doing digital marketing hands on for all our businesses, and we've been helping others leverage this medium. Over last 3 years, we have been supporting individuals and organizations across, especially across Asia, leverage digital marketing and especially social media through various instructor led as well as self study practical trainings we organize. So we've done over 100 trainings for over 2,500 professionals across Asia for more than 500 brands, and many of the people who participated in our workshops were CXOs of mid to large organizations. And since last 6 months, we have been running pure online courses. Like this is one of our course, which is advanced Facebook marketing course. We are already running this course. It's being attended by over 60 people across Asia, and they are being part of this course. They are able to produce some real difference in their business growth by leveraging Facebook marketing. So that's I will be sharing with you more details about this course as we get into the details for this. Let me quickly create with you the agenda for today's session. I will be starting with the sharing with you the opportunity of Facebook, why Facebook makes so much of sense for each and every business today. I will be giving you basic information about this instructor led online Facebook marketing course. I will be leaving you with the practical insights about multiplying your Facebook advertising ROI. How can you use Facebook advertising for lead generation or brand building or even direct sales? And finally, for those of you who would be interested in participating in our course, I will give you an opportunity to register into that, right? So that's the way it's being planned. So, as I shared, let me begin by creating the opportunity of Facebook marketing for you. This is a quote from Flip the Funnel, which says that while only 20% of marketing budgets are typically spent on retention, in many cases, over 75% of revenue comes from existing customers. So, what fundamentally it says is your existing customers are your great bet for generating newer revenues, right? And in case of social media, given social media is all about deepening your relationship with your existing customers or building and strengthening your relationship, it allows you to fulfill on this opportunity. And particularly Facebook, which is all about building engagement and building relationships, it's a great opportunity to have your best bet be fulfilled, right? And we would look into how overall Facebook marketing is already making a difference in the business growth, right? Now, How Facebook can influence customer acquisition. So Facebook can be used to fulfill multiple objectives. It could be for brand building, it could be for employee engagement, it could be for lead generation, it could be for direct sales. Depending upon the business you are in, Facebook could be used to fulfill multiple business objectives. And it is already making impact in terms of increasing direct revenues for businesses. And there are fundamentally three ways Facebook influence or impacts your revenue generation. One is it influences your prospects or existing customers to buy from you. Second is, for example, if you are into services business or like even training business like us, Facebook can help do lead generation, and I'll be talking at length about that. If you are in a business which is a pure, say, an online business or an e-commerce business, Facebook can help you generate direct sales, and we would see examples of that, right? As we get into those examples, I just want to do a quick poll to understand where you are in terms of your understanding of Facebook. So let me begin by doing this first poll. And I would appreciate if all of you can just respond to this poll. Whatever you feel is the right answer, just respond to this. The question is, how many users who are above 40 years of age from India on Facebook? So I'll wait for a few seconds and then I'll share the results as well. So we have got over 60% of you have already voted. So I will appreciate if all of you can respond. So we have got 70% of you who have voted. Okay. Let me just close this poll. Let me share the results. So 33% of you, oh, it's very interesting, right? 11% of you say less than 10,000. 33% of you say 10,000 to 100,000, which is roughly 44% of you say less than 100,000. Over 50% of you say less than 1 million. 33% of you say between 1 to 5 million, and 11% of you say over 5 million. And the real answer is it's around 7 million. Okay. Guys, one of you are saying that my voice is not audible. Am I clear? Can some of you just confirm that you can listen to me clearly so that I know if the problem is at my end or somewhere else? Can you just confirm that you can listen to me well? Use again the questions panel to respond. I'll wait for a few seconds to get your response to confirm that I am clearly audible. Okay, we do properly here, clearly audible. Okay, guys, I think, yeah, there might be some temporary voice issue, but looks like currently I'm clearly audible, right? Just wanted to confirm that. So that's one thing. As I shared, a lot of people believe that Facebook is about youngsters. It's only about youth. There are not enough senior people who are on Facebook spending their time, which is actually not true. And this is one of the statistics which says, and that's one of the reasons why Facebook makes a lot of sense. Overall, if you look at the number of people, Facebook has recently crossed 1 billion users. Whichever geography you are, whether you are in UAE or in other Southeast Asia, say Kuala Lumpur, or say Malaysia, Singapore, or in India, a very high percentage of internet population is already on Facebook. Like in India, there are 60 million users on Facebook. which is roughly 50% of internet population, and including senior people spending most important, very good amount of their time on this medium. So that's of one of the fundamental reasons why everyone should care about Facebook, because your customers, which includes, or your stakeholders, which could be potential customers, existing customers, influencers, are on this medium, spending good amount of their time. That's a big enough reason why everyone should care about Facebook, right? However, we will look into various other angles as well as real examples. So let me ask you another question in the form of a poll, and I will again wait for a couple of seconds, and I will really appreciate if all of you can respond to this. Have you heard about Facebook impacting as high as 25% revenue for brands in India? And that's true actually across the world. Like real business growth through Facebook. So few more seconds, and all of you, if you can, I can see some of you are responding over the questions as well. That's fine, but if you can respond over the poll, that would be very useful as a statistics. I can see one of you saying it is impacting 40% of your business. Wow, that's very interesting. So yeah, most of you have responded, and actually the results are like almost 50-50. 55% of you say yes, 45% of you say no, right? And that's what I want to share with you in terms of now going ahead, the examples of businesses who are being impacted in terms of real business growth through Facebook. So let's look into the examples. So this is an example of a company called Mintra, which is India's one of the largest e-commerce companies. 25% of their revenue is attributed from Facebook, and they are really large. And this is official Facebook case study. So that means a lot. There is another company called Chumbak, which is into souvenir products. They sell T-shirts to magnets. They sell it both offline and online. 25% of their online revenue comes through Facebook, and they use both Facebook page as well as Facebook advertisement to produce that revenue. And the same is also being used by Mintra. Mintra uses Facebook ads as well as Facebook pages. People, move from Facebook ads directly to their website or from their Facebook page. And using tools like Google Analytics, you can track till the final conversion. And that's how they are reporting these numbers. And again, this is official Facebook case study. Now, this is very interesting. A business called Kaya Skin Clinic, which is they have skin clinics, which are offline clinics. Even for them, 20% of their online, all sales, not online sales, because all sales happen actually offline, is through Facebook. Like it originated from Facebook. So I think if they are able to generate that high business, I think it's possible for almost every one of us. And again, they use both Facebook page as well as Facebook ads to be able to impact that level of revenue. Now, we are seeing, say, typically travel companies were the early adopters of digital media. That's not very much true in case of social media, but now recently we have seen they becoming really active. So far, a great percentage of their revenue was coming through Google AdWords. Now social media has started to contribute, and this is again official Facebook case study. Yatra, which is I think the second largest online travel company from India, they generate around 1.5 million rupees of their monthly revenue through Facebook, and I think that's largely through Facebook page. I have seen Make My Trip now aggressively advertising on Facebook, and I'm sure we will see much bigger case studies coming out from travel sector on Facebook. Now, going forward, let's look into this. Another example. This is a musical festival which happened in India. They generated 10,000 of the tickets through Facebook ads, which were more than the combined ticket buyers which came through television, radio, and outdoor advertising. Their ROI on Facebook ads was 30 times. So, a location specific, time specific event having that high ROI on Facebook ads again speaks volume about the efficiency of this medium for real business growth. Let's look into examples of applications. Long time back, we did our workshop in Singapore and we were looking at some interesting examples. So this was from a page which is being managed by Wildlife Reserve Singapore, which manages Night Safari, Zurong Bird Park, Singapore Zoo. And when you are not a fan of their page, when you go to the page, you will see this image which says if you like our page, it will change and you will get a code which you can share to get discount. So earlier there was an option of showing a separate landing page to your non-fans. And once they click on like to become fans, it changes to this, which says simply say the code words get wild at Night Safari and you get 20% off your Night Safari tickets. So, very, very interesting way to have your fans becoming or converting to customers and also have an opportunity for you to measure that. And more important, for your visitors to have an incentive to become your fan. So this actually creates multiple opportunities for them, as I shared. Though there is no more a concept of landing page like this, but still using a simple application that's possible. That you have a tab where you ask people to become a fan, and if they become a fan, you give them some code, which they can redeem online as well as offline, and you can measure that, right? So here there is an application being used to convert visitors of the page to the fans and then to the real customers. This was another example of a company called Titan, which sell watches. They were running 40% discount for all their customers. And they said, exclusive to our fans, we give additional 15%. That means 55% off on the total price and for the fans only. And what you have to do is you will have to click on this generate code button. You will get a voucher as an SMS, which you can redeem at the retail store. They were expecting X times redemption of this coupon, and in reality, Titan got 50 times what they were expecting. Again, a great reason to connect or a great approach to connect their visitors to become fans and then fans to become customers, and it is measurable as well. One of the reasons given it was an SMS voucher, people had a recall and it was easy for them to reuse it, right? So again, an interesting way where application is being used to convert potential customers into real customers. Then you can use Facebook to integrate on your website, and there are multiple widgets, multiple ways to do that. This is an example of a widget which can be used by an in e-commerce or someone who is into pure online business. What this does is during the checkout process, it gives an option to your customers who are about to do a transaction that if they do a like, or if they tweet, or if they do Google plus one, or if they join your mailing list, they get additional 5% off. Now what happens is one of the values for you if you use an integrate widget like this is the virality factor. Your customers who are buying from you are going to tell their friends or their followers that they are buying this product from you, right? So that's a great endorsement to create viral impact. The second is typically there is a very high shopping cart abandonment rate, and if you are using a widget like this, it will significantly help you improve your conversions. See, a lot of people think that at the final stage, if I get, are there any other avenues where I can get more discount? And if you give them this option, their chances of completing their transaction increases, which can significantly impact your abandonment rates, right? So that's another way where Facebook can be integrated onto your website, and there are many other ways you can do that. Then Facebook has something called Facebook offers. If you run a Facebook page, you can definitely drive people from a post to your page, but you can do things like Facebook offers. So it's like a post where people, when they click on this, they will get a mail with a discount code or otherwise with other details, and which they can use to redeem a special offer. So for your fans to become your customers, you want to give them a special offer. this is one of the ways you can do. And one of the things which happens is when they click on get offer, right now, given it was clicked, it moved to resend offer. Otherwise, in the initial phase, this portion will be get offer. Once they do that, their network gets to know that they have taken that offer. So again, the viral impact as well as converting your fans to your customers is possible using things like Facebook offers. Now, I'll share with you one more technical way to significantly impact your reach or outreach using Facebook. There is a concept of open graph applications. Assuming you are in a business where you distribute, say, videos, and when people watch a video, how about every time they watch a video, there is an entry which get made to their profile that this person watched this video, and there is a link to that video as well. And that's also possible in case of, say, it could be an application game, like this person played this game on this site with a link to that page, or maybe reading something. So this is an example of Daily Motion, which is into sharing videos. Once you are on their site, they will initially take authentication to this open graph application. And once you do that, every time you watch a video, there will be an entry which will make to your timeline, which means your friends will get to see that you have watched this video with a link to that. And Daily Motion, using this open graph application, impacted their outreach significantly. Let me share some numbers. In 2 months, 9 million people added application to their timeline. 6 million Facebook visitors came to their site on daily basis. 2 million stories published back on Facebook every day. So, like you watch this video, for example, an entry will get made to your profile on Facebook with a link to this video. And that's how it impacts this viral reach. And that means like a significant impact. Of course, Open Graph application is a little more technical, but it's still new and it opens a lot of opportunity, especially when you have a large amount of traffic coming to your website and you have something like a game or a reading or maybe even a book online, or of course a video or something like that where there is an object being watched, played, or read, and you create an entry to your visitors timeline on Facebook, right? So those are some of the examples I wanted to share about Facebook impacting real business growth, right? And what are different ways to do that, from Facebook page to Facebook ads to Facebook application, including open graph applications. I just want to now share with you the basic details of our course, because if you are serious about leveraging Facebook for real business growth, it could be brand building to lead generation to customer acquisition, you may want to be part of our next upcoming course. So let me give you some basic details. It's a 1 month long course and it uses multiple elements. There would be 5 live sessions of 2 hours each, starting next week, Saturday, which is November 24th. The live session will be for 2 hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And there will be 5 live sessions. December 22nd is the 5th live session. The real value of this course is that you will be taking a real business project. So, whichever business you are in, you will say that overall, this is an opportunity of Facebook marketing for me. And in this 1 month, I want to impact this portion of my business. For example, you may want to generate leads, or if you are in an e-commerce business, you may want to look into even direct sales. If you are a consumer brand, you may want to look into that. I want to impact my brand visibility. So you will produce real results over a 1 month long period. And one of the ways that will happen is you taking up a real project, and all those live sessions will be supporting you in you fulfilling those objectives. So live sessions is one element to that, but there are three more interesting elements. One is all the conceptual knowledge about various aspects of Facebook, from Facebook pages to Facebook advertisement to Facebook applications, including Facebook Insights, will be shared with you in the form of very crisp, typically 3 to 5 minutes videos. So you will probably spend 1 to 2 hours every week, and you would have gone through in a very crisp way, especially going through the real examples and case studies, you would have learned all aspects of how Facebook application works, how Facebook page works, how to create engagement, how to measure ROI, all of that in the form of video lessons. So you will have access to the entire video Facebook marketing video library, which we have created after 3 years of our experience in running physical offline workshops. All of that knowledge is being put into those videos. As I shared, you will have live online sessions on every Saturday for 5 Saturdays for 2 hours each. Then, during the week or between two live sessions, you would have discussions happening with us and with your other peer group over a private Facebook group. Like as I shared, we have a current course with where more than 60 professionals across Asia are participating. They are engaging really deeply among themselves and with us over a Facebook group which is being created exclusively for them. So the moment you register into this course, you will become part of this group, and your participation can begin the moment you register, because you can ask questions and you will get access to the video library as well then. And as I shared, you will take a real project to do real work in terms of using Facebook page, using Facebook advertisement, so that you are not just learning theoretically, you are experiencing it practically and producing real business results. At any point of time, including in video lessons, there are some concepts which are not clear. You can engage around those videos as well. So there is an opportunity to engage. And of course, our live sessions are really engaging, right? So those are the details of this course. It will be starting again on November 24th, which is Saturday. We do have a couple of more seats. The price for this course is 9,900 rupees, which is plus service tax, which is roughly 197 US dollars. Right. So I'll have more time to answer any questions you have about this course towards the end of this webinar. Now I want you to get into the opportunity of Facebook advertising. Now, one of the things I want to start with is sharing with you why Facebook advertising can be so powerful. By the way, at any point of time, if you have any questions, use the questions panel to post your question and I'll take it up later, or maybe in between. It could be about overall Facebook marketing, whatever I shared, or maybe about the course. Now, some of you would have already experienced Google AdWords or online advertising, and some of you, I'm sure, would have already done Facebook advertising. Why Facebook advertising can be powerful? One of the biggest reasons is when you are on Facebook, right? Facebook knows who you are in terms of your location, in terms of your age, in terms of your gender, in terms of your interest, in terms of your education, in terms of your occupation. So, all of these parameters are accessible to Facebook for Facebook to be able to allow the advertiser to target. So, to give you a real part of that, when you go to facebook.com/advertising and you go to create an ad part. Now, while creating an ad, you have access to a lot of data, and that data is freely available, and that actually is your media planning phase, which happens free of cost. For example, I want to run an ad for, say, our online course. Say, I put the URL 42inception.com/trainings, and I click on that. Now it will ask me to create an ad where there is a title, there is a text, as well as image. Now, the interesting part happens here where you are allowed to do the targeting. Now, I was sharing with you number of people from a location. That data is really available real time. For example, in India, 40 and above, 40 age and above, how many people are there is 6.9 million. So this number, as you see, changes, tells you for the targeting you are choosing, roughly how many people are there. Within that, you want to find out how many male are there. That's roughly 5.2 million. Now you want to target further, say people like chief executive officer. Using precise interest, you can put that as well. Then there are fixed or broad categories which you can choose. So like 40 and above, people who are likely to be at the position of chief executive officer in India on Facebook is 31,000, which is a large number already. Then you can do further targeting in terms of workplace as well as education. So all of this data is freely available. I have not started an ad yet, but the real value of ad is all of this targeting is available to you as an advertiser, which no other platform gives, right? So how typically a Facebook ad works is when you are a user, you are on Facebook, any of the Facebook page, it could be your profile, someone else's profile, a Facebook event, a Facebook group, or a Facebook page. You will see ads on the right hand side. When you click on an ad, there are two possibilities. One is that takes you on some other portion on Facebook. It could be Facebook page, could be an event or an application, or it takes you to an external site. Typically, you would use that, for example, to do lead generation. I'll share our own examples of doing that. Now, let me give you a real scenario to tell you how can you multiply, like not incrementally improve, but really multiply the ROI of your Facebook advertising. Assuming you are an advertiser A and there is another advertiser called advertiser B. You run an ad on Facebook, the other advertiser also run an ad. Both of you are targeting the same set of people. Now, one of the options which exist on Facebook advertising is you can choose a model of cost per click. That means you only pay to Facebook when someone clicks on your ad, not when someone sees your ad. So that's called CPC model. Now, this cost per click number is a dynamic number. It's not a fixed number. Depending upon how you are running your ads, this number can change. But at any point of time, you will put some cost per click bid, right? Assuming you are advertiser A, you got 100 impressions, and out of those 100 impressions, two people clicked on your ad, or you got two clicks, and you are willing to pay 10 rupees as cost per click. The advertiser B got 5 clicks out of the same 100 impressions, and the advertiser B was willing to pay 5 rupees as cost per click. Now, between these two advertisers, which advertiser do you think is more effective? So I'll wait for you can use a questions panel to share your response. Is it an advertiser A who's like you who is more effective, or advertiser B given this statistics? Right? So you can, yeah, I have started to get your answers. We got B, we got another B, we got A's. Got it. Yeah, few more seconds. Good. So thanks everyone for your participation. Now, the real answer is B. And the reason being is, if you look at, in case of advertiser A, which is you, 2 clicks and 10 rupees per click means 20 rupees you paid to Facebook. In case of advertiser B, 5 rupees per click and 5 clicks means 25 rupees for Facebook. So Facebook made more money from advertiser B in spite of Facebook giving both of you the same inventory. Though you were willing to pay double as cost per click, but net revenue for Facebook was higher in case of advertiser B. Also, given the impressions were same, more people clicked on advertiser B ad, the advertiser B's ad is likely to be more relevant. So that's why it's a win-win formula. And the difference between two is the click-through rate, which is essentially clicks by impressions as percentage. In your case, the click-through rate was 2%. In case of advertiser B, it was 5%. So if you want to impact your ROI of Facebook ads, one of the key parameters is to improve your click-through rate. Because if you have higher click-through rate, that means your cost per click would be low, and you would also get more impressions or more exposure to your ads. So higher click-through rate means lower cost per click and more impressions, right? I'll come to what impacts your click-through rate. Before that, I want to just do another poll. to get a sense of how much do you think is a good click-through rate as a benchmark. So we'll wait for a few seconds. Between these five options of click-through rate as a percentage, which one do you think is a good as a benchmark? And I would appreciate if all of you respond. Whatever that number you think, just mention that. Even if it's incorrect, I can promise you, you will have a much higher recall when you are participating in this, right? So few more seconds and then I'll share the results with you. So far, 65% of you have already voted. Rest of you, if you can also vote, that would be great. Right, got it. So thanks everyone for your participation. Let me share the results with you. So these are the results. So 14% of you say 0.01%, 29% of you say 1%, 50%, 7% of you say 10%. Interestingly, the answer is 0.1%. That means one click out of 1,000 impressions is a good click-through rate. So what you need to understand is ads on Facebook, unlike Google, are pushed. Like people did not search for the information and then you showed an ad. You just pushed it. Of course, you can target, but still it's a push. So a lot of people don't even realize there was an ad. So that's why the click-through rate is likely to be low. But 0.1% and above is a good click-through rate. Right now, the question is how to improve click-through rate. Now, if you see, one part is targeting. Otherwise, the ad has three components. There is a title, there is a text, and there is an image. Out of these three elements, which one do you think impacts the click-through rate most? Just use the questions panel to share your answer. Is this the title of the ad or heading, or the description of the ad, or the image of the ad? Which one of these three impacts the click-through rate most? Okay. So we have got image and title as most of the responses. Thanks everyone. And the answer, as most of you correctly answered, is image. Say, if you see your own behavior, you would see an image, or you would notice an image of that first before even you read the title. So if you want to improve click-through rate of your ad on Facebook, it's the image which will have the biggest impact. So what you would do is at any point of time, you would run multiple ads. You can keep the title same, the description same, keep multiple image copies, and then see which one is performing good. And then after a few hundred impressions, you would know which one is doing good. You continue to do that, right? So that's one very, very critical element to increase your ROI of Facebook ads. Now I want to share with you one more element. Assuming you are running an ad to take people outside of Facebook, say you want to generate leads or even want to get sales happening. Now, taking an example of lead generation, there are two options you have. One is when people click on your ad, you take them to your website, normal website, and then they would spend time on your website and they take whatever action they want to take. Second option is you take people to a specifically designed landing page. Now, what happens is if you take people to your website, even if they find the content or this product services relevant and interesting, given they would not have heard about you before, they would have a very little recall about you. And typically, what happens? So they will spend some time, they will browse, they will go, and then they will think that I'll come back. One is the memory is there. Second is, they even if they recall, a lot of them would not be able to even guess, oh, which brand was that. So instead of taking them to your website, what you can do is you can take them to a specifically designed landing page. Like in our case, for example, if this is an ad which is for our upcoming advanced Facebook marketing course, when people click on the ad, we don't take them to our separate, our website 42 Inception. We take them to a landing page like this, where we give them just two options. Either they close this page or they fill this form. Now, what happens is if you take advantage of their impulsive behavior where they fill this form, now even if they forget to come back to you, you have access to reach out to them. and that will significantly improve your first lead generation in terms of conversion. Second, your ability to finally convert them to a customer. So some of the guidelines for landing pages, you would not give them too many options. So we give them this form, we give them the phone number or email ID. Again, that's what we want. If they're reaching out to us, the job is done. Of course, you will very in a very crisp manner, you will provide details about your product and services. Most important, you would do everything you can do to bring your credibility on front, because you want them to share their details. And can you give them an incentive to fill this form? Like in our case, we ask them, are you, let's begin your learning to leverage Facebook marketing through a Facebook marketing guide, which is free, and you will get that as an email. So don't give them too many options. Make it crisp, build credibility, and have reason for them to fill the form. If you're doing that, I can promise you, you will see significant times increase in conversion. Not percentage increase, but significant times increase in conversion. Right? So if you look at the CTR, if you are working on improving your CTR, and if you use the landing page, you will see multiple times of the results which you might be producing without taking care of these factors, or if you are already doing that. Right? So that was what I wanted to share about Facebook advertising. Now we have next 15 minutes to have questions about Facebook advertising or Facebook marketing in general, or even about our next upcoming course. I will be happy to answer any questions you have about any of these aspects over next 15 minutes. What you can do is you can use the questions panel to post your questions, and I will take them one by one, and I'll be glad to provide from our own experience of using this medium, or from our current course. If you want to know more details about this course, you can find the complete details about this course at this URL 42inception.com/trainings. Of course, you can reach out to me. I'm Pradeep Chopra on all social media. Specifically, for you who are participating in this webinar, we give you this special offer. If you are interested in registering into this course, if you use this code called 15web, when you register online by November 19th, which is Monday, you will get 15% off on the introductory price. Right? So with this, the floor is open for questions and answers, and I can see questions already coming. Okay, Manisha, you have a question. When will you be starting the next course, as I'm busy from 24th November to December 31st? Okay. So, Manisha, we are not sure in terms of which is the next course we will be launching, but most likely in December as well. In January, we will have a online course. It may not be Facebook, but we will have a course. And so we will have a course in December end, and then in January end. So that's so far the plan. We would have clarity after we begin this course, right? And for some of you, in case of these live 5 sessions, if you see that one of the Saturdays it does not work for you, we will have the recorded session of all 5 live sessions in case you miss any of the sessions. But the first session becomes really important for you to be able to get real value from this course, right? So I hope, Manisha, it answers your question. And for some of you who are interested in maybe attending our physical workshop, like we have our workshop in 3 cities in India. We have, I think my voice is echoing. Yeah, I think it's now better. So we have a workshop on social media marketing in Delhi next week, then in Mumbai and Bangalore in December. So you can find the details about that on our other brand called digitalvidya.com. You will see all the details about those workshops as well. Okay, let me take more questions. Yeah, my voice was inaudible for a few seconds. I believe it's back now. How can a non-e-commerce and non-retail brand benefit from Facebook marketing? Pratiksha has this question. Pratiksha, as I shared, there are like enough businesses which are including B2B, who are making real business growth on using Facebook, right? So, like in our case as well, we are using Facebook to generate enormous amount of lead generation, including for corporate workshops. We use that using Facebook ads as well as using Facebook page. Similarly, a lot of IT companies are using Facebook for employee engagement as well as for thought leadership, including lead generation. So the point is, if your audience is on this medium, you can reach out to them through multiple ways. It could be through Facebook page, it could be through direct Facebook ads, it could be through Facebook application, it could be through Facebook group, or even Facebook event. So if your customers are there, there are enough reasons and ways for you to reach out to them and fulfill on the objective you want to reach out to. One of the good sites which all of you can refer to when it comes to social media for B2B is called socialmediab2b.com. So let me just type that for all of you who are interested in going through interesting case studies, including on Facebook, about social media for B2B, right? So I hope you get an answer to that. Otherwise, I think there were a couple of examples I shared which were like using Facebook for real business growth. Okay. uh, Anu has a question. I have developed an Android, just a minute. Yeah, I've developed an Android app for students. It can be used by anyone undertaking a course, be it academic or professionals. It's called LMR, to be used for last moment revision before entering the exam hall. Any particular tips towards marketing the same on Facebook? So I think, Anu, again, as I shared, there are multiple ways. One option is you can run directly ads. You can target students, and you can take them to a specially created landing page where you give them an option to sign up to the application or try the application, like the way we do. So that is one way. Second is you can build a page around the similar topic, and from the page you get people to start using an application, right? So that's another way you can do that. Similarly, you can use including Facebook group as well. So those are different ways you can use Facebook for doing that, to promote your page. Now, one of the things I just wanted to ask, that will help us understand how many of you are interested in this course so that we can reach out to you appropriately. If you can just let us know if you are interested in using Facebook for producing real business results as I share, and you want to attend our upcoming course, just let us know so that we know your interest and then we reach out to you. I'll wait for a few seconds to get your responses, and then we would know your interest in this course, and it could be any of these responses, right? So 60% of you have answered. Wait, I'll wait for a few more seconds. Okay, got it. 78% of you have voted. Glad to see your interest. Okay, so got it. So thanks everyone for your letting us know your interest in this course. I can be now back to the question about using Facebook, right? So Anu, I hope that gives you an answer. Just as you told, what is good CTR, what is considered good rate of organic growth on a page, and what are the parameters that one should look at apart from number of likes? Okay, so Sonia, let me answer the second part first. Number of likes is important, but that's not sufficient, because even more than the number of likes, what's important is engagement. I'm not sure if you know about EdgeRank algorithm. So Facebook uses that to decide what percentage of your fans would even get to see your content, and the key determinant of that algorithm is the level of engagement. If you are not engaging your fans, then whether you have them or not is not much different. So engagement is important, and one of the ways to measure engagement is a parameter like called talking about this. So if you go to the Facebook insights, I'm sure you have access to that. So you should look into how can you impact your talking about this, and of course that will be a function of various parameters. One is the timing of your post, frequency of your post, and most important, how relevant that post is for your fans. right? And that will also actually answer your first question about how to impact your organic growth. But sadly or badly, there is a very little organic growth which happens. Not even like, it's going to be, even if you're doing really great job, you don't expect a double digit organic growth unless you have access to a lot of other media. So one part of growth is through Facebook ads, second is purely through the content, and third is if you have access to a lot of other media. You may be doing print, you have an email database, you can do a mailer to them, your website drives a lot of traffic, that could be considered organic. But if you are saying that how much of growth can happen directly out of the content you have, it would be a single digit. There would be only few exceptions when situations like interesting applications have created viral impact to produce double digit organic growth. And especially when you are reasonably large, it would be very small. And that's a reality, right? That's whatever different brands may say, Facebook ads are today being used for most of the growth in terms of fan growth. What's good talking about percentage? Okay, so talking about this, Pratiksha. So typically, again, it would be, I would say, largely 0.5 to 2.5%. If you have more than that, that means you're doing good job. Especially when you have a reasonably large, say, few thousand fans. If you're few hundred, initially it could be high. Also, what you need to understand is talking about this also takes into consideration people who become your fans, and it is a last 7 days metric. So in last 7 days, all the fans who have joined is also counted in that. For example, if you're running ads, you are getting 100 people through ads joining your page every day. That means 700 talking about this will come from your ads, which is not actually a true measure of engagement. So all those people joining your page, you should take that separately. And when you go to talking about this in your Facebook insights, there's an option for you to see talking about this from likes, talking about this from uh, post and mentions. So you should look into that separate parameter to be really be able to find what's a true measure of engagement for your page, right? I hope that answers your question, Pratiksha. Right. Let me know if there is any more question. Otherwise, yeah, as we had planned for this webinar to last at 12 noon, I can wait for a few more minutes if you have questions, and I can answer those questions for you. It could be again about Facebook page to Facebook application to Facebook advertising, or about this course. Otherwise, yeah, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. I would be happy to answer any questions you may have after this webinar as well. Okay, you have another question. What's a good policy on comment moderation? Okay, so there are multiple ways, multiple elements to that. One is if someone is trying to spam, right, on a comment. So one of the suggested guidelines is, rather than directly banning that person, you as a representative of your brand send a private message to that person that this page is meant to fulfill this purpose. Your post or your comment is not relevant. We are deleting that, and we request you to refrain from doing it again. Otherwise, we will ban you. So that's one thing which helps. A lot of people, initially don't realize they are learning. They do that rather than just banning them in the first go. You give them that warning, which helps. Otherwise, if this person is ban, like doing something which is irrelevant regularly across all the pages, or in addition to deleting that post, you can directly ban that person as well. Otherwise, of course, comment response becomes important. So timely response is important, and you want to have the conversation continue on comments. That really helps because that will impact your edge, right? Aren't private messages not permissible? Yeah, so that depends upon the settings as an individual, depending upon your account, depending upon what other person has chosen. It is in some cases possible to do that. Otherwise, in the comment itself, you can mention that. and that would become a warning not just to that person, even to others as well, right? Okay. What is the guidelines for Facebook on running contest or call to action? Is it true that you can only run through apps and not directly from your page? Yes, Sonia. So that's true, and that's one of the gray areas. And a lot of people, including some of the largest brands in India, have make a mistake. That when you run a contest, don't run a contest directly on your page wall as a post. You run a contest on an application, which could be a separate tab, and you can give the link to that as a post. Now what happens is, why Facebook has this guideline. Now what happens is, if you do a contest and there is a winner, you announce the name of the winner, and if you say, okay, congratulations, Sonia, you are the winner of Honda City and you will get this car. And if someone say uses or misuses that information to kidnap that person. Now, finally, Facebook could be sued for that because that information got shared on Facebook platform. When it comes to Facebook application, the data of Facebook application does not reside on Facebook. So Facebook is no more responsible for any of those mishappenings. That's a fundamental reason why Facebook has those guidelines for running contests. So, as a guideline, you always run the contest outside of a Facebook post or a Facebook wall. You can give a link. Don't announce the full name of the winner. That's also against the policy. Otherwise, you search on Google, you will get the all details. Facebook has a section called Facebook guidelines for promotions. You will see all the details. Right. Okay, we have another question from Manisha. We have approximately 90,000 fans on Facebook. This is not our business season. It is good time to engage the fans through various games or quizzes and focusing on increasing the likes. Yeah, Manisha, as I shared earlier, EdgeRank is an algorithm which decides what percentage of your fans will get your post. So if you're not engaging with them right now, they will, become debt, and when you want to start again in the next season or whenever your season is, you will miss out on the opportunity of this size. So when you're thinking of building a Facebook page, you should never have an approach of, okay, season wise we will do. Of course, at sometimes it can be more aggressive, but at all the times it has to remain on, right? Okay, another question. What about cover photo? Can I promote the contest on cover photo and divert people to the Facebook app? So, one of the things is, on cover photo, you cannot have a direct call to action. You cannot have a URL as well listed or published on the cover photo. You can share the details of your product and service as a fact. Like if you go to facebook.com/digitalvidya, you will see our all upcoming workshops as well as online course, but we don't give them any call to action or a link or a URL. So there are also, if you search on Google guidelines for Facebook cover photo, you will see that. But those are two important guidelines for you to understand, right? Okay, you're welcome. Can you please share the name of the algorithm again? It's called, let me just type it. It's called Edge Rank. You should be, we cover at depth about that because that's very critical. We cover in our course in detail about how Edge Rank impacts your overall ROI on Facebook. Right. So I think, yeah, it's 12:05. Once again, I want to thank each one of you for being part of this webinar. I hope this 1 hour was valuable for you and you would be able to take some real actions to produce some real results for your organization. I would be looking forward to welcoming some of you who are going to participate in our next course on Facebook marketing or our next workshop on social media. For any questions you may have about Facebook, just reach out to me. We'll be happy to support you beyond this as well, right? So thank you very much and have a great weekend. We'll be connecting with you again somewhere soon, shortly, right? Take care. Bye bye.